Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of my craft room tour. I'm recording this on a different day and a different time, so I opened up the mini blind so that way a lot of light comes in here, so that way it makes it easier for me to record. Warning though, I am recording from my phone, which means I am holding it, so I'm going to try to be very careful to not be so shaky. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here is an IKEA unit that you can find in the kitchen section, and this basically houses all my mixed media, my inks, my gelatos, my stickles, and I do have some sequins in there as well. And then my workspace, this was my original one where I would create and record for you guys when I first started my YouTube channel. But then it became a catch for all once I received a new piece of furniture, which you will see here in a minute. That's where I now create. But I do like this now versus it being, like I said, a catch for all, where I was so piled up high of just stuff until I finally cleaned my room the other day. And now I really like it as being a workspace. So I have my die cutting machine. And then back here I have my zig writing pens, which they still work. And if they don't work, I end up throwing it in the trash can and not a big deal. But I still use them until they no longer work anymore. I have some Maggie Home embellishment jars. Here's that wood veneer jar that I was telling you about that is full that I'm trying to use. I really consolidated a lot of stuff and threw away a lot of little stuff that I found at the Target dollar bin that would house a lot of my pins and markers. And like I said, consolidated them. And now I just have this Raid Down one. And then here's a jar that my daughter made when she was little, and I basically house some of my scissors and tools there. I love milk glass, so this used to be my candy dish until all of my kids and my husband, I'm going to actually say 3 kids, would eat all of my Hershey Kisses. So I was like buying Hershey Kisses like every other day because they would not leave them alone. But since I am a huge milk glass fan, my friend was a huge collector, and before she moved away, she gave me this as a parting gift to remember her by, which I always will. Every time I see it, I think of her. Here is my Spellbinder tool, which is a pretty cool tool especially for those smaller little thin dies so they don't get lost. It's magnetic, so you just place it right here for you until you want to, put it away or whenever. I get a lot of questions regarding this right here. It is a quick cuts storage for the dies, and basically I would use it for my washi tape, but then I couldn't really see my washi tape, and so I think I'm going to use it for what it was originally intended for, and that is for the dies. Each one of these holds a complete alphabet set, so I think that's what I might use it for. Okay, moving up on top, just a little bunch of doodads, washi tape, another washi tape dispenser. This is what I purchased at TJ Maxx I found, and it houses my ring for when I'm crafting. This is something my great aunt made. She liked to paint on china, and it reminded me of when I was a little girl. The grandmas and the aunts, my mom, friends would come over, and they would all kind of each work on whatever they wanted, whatever their hobby was. So like cross stitching, crocheting, and like I said, she gave this to me when I was a teenager, and when she gave it to me right away, that memory came back of me as a little girl running around and eating all the food while they were creating. All right, and then I have this stamp that I forgot about. Shamel used this when I first saw her on 2 Peas in a Bucket, and I bought it and I forgot about it. Well, guess what, guys? Because I cleaned my room, this stamp just made it in my Traveler's Notebook. So you'll be seeing that in my process video here soon. I have some more of those Maggie Quick Cuts storage bins. This is from TJ Maxx right here, and it just houses all my enamel dots. This is by Crate Paper. They no longer make it, but I love this little cute little muffin tin. I use this for when I am creating a layout and I want to separate all the embellishments that I might use. This is a organizer that is like the IKEA one and the Crate Paper that I showed you earlier. And I really like this one. It's by Total Tiffany, and the reason why I like it is you see this slides out, and you can basically customize it to fit however, to work for you. So that is why I like that one out of all of them. Next, I have the Crate Paper little berry baskets that are my bits and bobs basket that I go through periodically just to see if there's anything I can use for a layout. This one right here, I purchased a bunch of these at Home Goods. They came in a set of, I believe, 4, and I purchased 2 of them. And I use them for different things. But for the most part, if I'm working on a pocket page, like that's coming up next, I will put everything that I want to use into this. Now, my room is constantly a work in progress. It is not perfect, but I do know where everything's at. And I know one of my viewers was like, I am shocked that you know what's all in your drawers. It's because I go through it all the time whenever I'm trying to create. But so this is not perfect for me, obviously. Eventually I would hope to have all this cleared out and find a home for it. But that is why, you know, being on a freeze brings me so much joy, because it's stuff like this where I have boxes of, like I said, shopping faster than I can scrapbook, a lot of cocoa vanilla, a lot of amazing collections that I haven't even cracked open yet. So, but now I get to, you know, use them, and it brings me so much joy to finally actually, because I'm on a freeze, to start using those collections. This section right here, it's really small, as you can see between my fingers. This is only what I have for boys. Just, you know, there's not a lot of boy collections, and when I do see one, especially ones that I like, I will buy it because there's just not enough, and I love all the colors that they make for boys. So here's a sticker album. Here is a container holding all my phrase stamps, roller stamps. Here's just a little tool that has some punch boards. Here's that stamp tool that I was telling you about earlier. Like I said, they don't make this anymore. You know, due to, was it fringe rights? What's the word I'm looking for? Guys, I'm drawing a blank. You know what I'm talking about. But basically it was a knockoff Misty, and so they could not sell it anymore. So definitely though, I will use this until it breaks because it's not really made that well. Let's see here. With one hand, I'm trying to, okay, there we go. Here is all my punches. I don't have very many punches, and with the ones that I do have, it's all of the classic shapes that I love. And then I have, look at this little memory Dex one. So darn cute. Okay, so I have all those. I have foam tape, and then there's a huge container sitting there. That is by Cropper Hopper. That was actually, that was the very first paper holder that I ever purchased from besides the pizza box that I first started off with. And it has a ton of collections in there too. And then I have a whole bunch of page protectors, and whether it be 12 by 12 or the pocket ones. This is a crate that I have that houses all of my die cuts. At the time, I wasn't sure if I wanted to have one section to have my die cuts or to have them with their collections. But all of these right here have all of the die cuts, and anything that goes with that collection is in the Ziploc baggie. Same thing with the 6x6 paper pads. I hope one day I get through them all, but here's what I have for paper pads. And if I do have any extras, again, it's with their collection. Okay, so this is just a little bin again of our Hawaii trip. All the little goodies that I'm using for my son's traveler's notebook. And then here is a better look at the paper holder that I showed you with that's over here at the Michael's Recollection. I really like these. And then here's those plastic sleeves that I was telling you about that you could purchase separately. More collections in here. I have a glass mat, my silhouette mat, and then more page protectors, and then my friend's album that I'm working on of our UK trip. And then, sorry guys, I'm trying to do this one hand and then not make the camera so shaky. I'm not going to really go into here because I'm going to be honest with you. It's just a bunch of Mod Podge of like pens and stuff like that. I'll quickly open and let you guys kind of get a little quick glimpse, but it's nothing like major in here. I'm not even going to open that one. And then just more stuff. Here's my Copic markers. Again, like I said, I was trying to consolidate. And then some refills on adhesive. Okay, and then I'm going to get up real slowly for you guys. Okay, now this little corner here, this mess, oh my goodness. Because like I said, I have a small little 10 by 10 room, and I have a lot of furniture. I had a cart here. This used to sit on the cart. But since then, I thought I was going to consolidate and get rid of the cart, but I ended up moving the cart. So I ended up using it. And I'll show you that in a minute. This is just one of the Ragscog carts that basically houses a whole bunch of embellishments that might not be with a certain collection, and I stick it all there. More layered stickers, more embellishments that I go through and try to find to add on to my layouts. All right, and then here's a huge Scentsy box. Like I said, I sold Scentsy for 7 years, so this was perfect to house all of those collections that I was telling you about that I haven't even used. I mean, guys, remember Scraptastic kit? Yeah, this is one of them. I haven't even opened it yet. How long have they been gone? You see what I mean? Shopped way too much. Hip kits. Used to buy from them every once in a while. Yeah. Okay. So then here is the piece that I'm probably the most excited about, and that is this one. And there's a little story. I've had it now for, I believe, 2 years. Martha Stewart makes it. She doesn't make it anymore. It's discontinued, but I wanted it forever, but it was way out of my price range. Well, a year ago or two, a neighbor 2 streets over posted how she was moving into, consolidating, or not consolidating, but moving into a smaller home. And so she needed to get rid of a lot of stuff. So my friend went over there and bought a whole bunch of furniture from her. And she showed me this piece and she's like, Desiree, I thought of you. And I was like, ooh, I need to get it. Well, I was really busy, and the owner messaged my friend and said, look, I know I said 100. I will give it to you for 50. Just please take it. We are leaving tomorrow. So my 2 good friends that live on the street with me, their husbands picked it up and brought it over, and I was thrilled. That was like the best birthday present ever. And then I have my crepe paper. This is the grid that I was telling you about that hangs on the wall, and it just houses, baker's twine and kind of like all my extra of like undo, stamp cleaner, tacky glue, my water bottles, and even a few of the Heidi Swap Shine. And then here is that IKEA organizer that I was mentioning earlier. It basically just houses, it used to be the kit, a kit that I was working on for a project, but instead I kind of now house it for all the things that I use on every single layout. So I have my Stampin' Scrubber, which I love this thing, you guys. It is the best thing. All you got to do is take water and basically spray it with water, rub your stamp there, and then rub it on this side to dry it. And it is amazing. All right, so here I have my tacky glue, my ATG, more bins of photos and stuff that I'm currently working on. And besides being a milk glass fan, guys, I'm a huge jade fan. This is not vintage at all. I was at Home Goods one day, was walking through to get to the cashier, and a little piece of this was sticking out, and I was like, what is that? And I ran over and I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is coming home with me. And I'm so glad that my eye caught that. All right, so now why I love this piece so much. So open it up. It has this grid, basically separates and makes it into little compartments. And I love this for kind of categorizing all of my stamps. And yes, they are in a category. And then here it is again. I'm not going to pull it all out, but as you can see, I have my Christmas stamps, traveler stamps, some more stamps, and basically the Color Theory by Studio Calico. Love this. Yeah, this was our latest one with all the letters. Okay, so I am the 3rd owner of this unit, and the one thing is that the 4 drawers like this was all supposed to have the grid, but being the 3rd owner, some pieces got lost. So that's okay. Eventually, hopefully, maybe my husband or a friend's husband could make me those, cut the slats for me. But in the meantime, this is where I house all of my inks. And my friend gave me this because she used to be a consultant. And they sat in her garage for like 15 years. And I saved the ones that did work and then tossed the ones that didn't. And then, of course, I got my Catherine Polar inks there. Okay, so here I have printer paper, all of my persnickety prints that I ordered, stuff that I'm working on for friends' albums, and then like I said, I'm currently working on a pocket page that I have lined up for my daughter's album. And so because I took some things from that kit, I know these are the 2 kits that it belongs to. If I end up not using them, I can put them back. These 2 drawers sit empty, but in this one, I have my Studio Calico kit. I am a subscriber to them, even though I'm on a freeze. I just didn't have a lot of pocket cards. So I subscribed to them. And then of course, whenever they had sales and really good deals for previous or older kits, I would buy them. But once my year is up, I am going to stop it. And then I am going to, because I don't want my pocket kits to end up like my scrapbooking area, where I have way more than, you know, I'll ever use or that I'll ever get to. So once my years lapse, then I'm going to just keep on using those until there's like nothing left. Along with Studio Calico, I did sign up with Allie Edwards' Story by the Month this year. My last one was in June. But I purchased her story kits, I want to say like 3 years ago, and I barely even touched them. So like I said, I really want to not let this become how, you know, my scrapbooking area is. So what I will do is just use them, and then until there's probably hardly anything left, and then I will go ahead and separate the kit and put them into the rightful spots. But I couldn't pass up, again, old Studio Calico kits. As you can see, even from 2016, I was not a subscriber, but they would sell them for like $5 or $10, and I would just grab them all up. Same thing with Freckled Fawn. I think they stopped Freckled Fawn, or was it Lawn? No, it's Freckled Fawn. I subscribed to them for a while, and then I remember they stopped making it, but it looks like they're currently making kits again. But I'm not going to buy. I am not going to buy. All right, so going really slow. After the Cropper Hopper paper holder that I was showing you, I then moved into this cabinet probably about 3 or 4 years after scrapbooking. Saw it on Creative Keepsakes forum. Somebody had this where they purchased this little cabinet at Walmart. And then I cannot remember where these trays came from. They were pretty pricey, and I feel like now they're a lot more reasonable in price. But that houses all of my original paper. So even though, yes, it's thin, I still love the patterns and I still use it, and no one ever knows. That's our little secret. And then I have white cardstock. Let's see here. Up above here, I have my metal dies for the alphabet. Or letters, I mean. And then I have chalk, and then eyelet. It's one of them is the eyelet storage container, and then the other one is for my brads. This is the window that I was kind of talking about that kind of faded. Like I had photo boxes up here, and so anything that I have by the window, I don't want it to fade. So I made sure to not have anything that would do that. Next, I have some December dailies that I completed. Just basically a lot of Pioneer or Postbound refills sit right here. Quick cut binders, Xyron refills, and the same thing here. Old QVC or Pioneer albums that I'm going to use for gifts. Xyron refills, Creative Keepsakes punches, and behind all this is my Quick Cuts binders for those alphabet dies that I was telling you about earlier. Okay. This is all stuff that needs to go back to my work, and that will be going back in the fall when school starts again. And then here is my cart, and it just basically is stuff that I use all the time when I scrapbook, which is my inks. I have my acrylic boxes, a couple punches that I use quite often, roller date stamps, and some stencils. On the second shelf, and you see what I mean, there's just not enough space to go in between like the Rascog cart. So, I mean, if I could go back, I would have bought the right Rascog cart versus the Target one, but I didn't know at that time. But this one, here's all my washi, the real thin dies, metal dies, and then this is going to my mom's. I want her, she's really excited to get back into scrapbooking, and so I want to kind of spruce up her scrapbooking room. So anything she wants, she gets out of my room. I'm like, here you go, Mom. Whatever makes you happy. Here's some more of those home good bins. And this is, guys, this is where I keep my chocolate. So when I lift these two up, now I just ate 2 of them yesterday. After filming, I deserved a little bit of chocolate, so I ate the last 2 Dove pieces. But I stick my Dove chocolates there, and the kids and my husband do not know. So shh. All right. Then really quick, I'm not going to go over this, but this is basically our computer and my little bulletin board by Ray Dunn, and it houses a picture that my daughter was going to throw away. She is an amazing artist. She does everything by hand. It's crazy how she draws. But she drew this, and I was like, I don't want you to get rid of that. I want to keep it. So she's like, okay, Mom. Okay, and then my last piece of furniture is the IKEA Alex drawers, and it basically just houses all of my chipboard, stickers, more chipboard, and puffy stickers, and again, chipboard. It is not in any order. I will sit here, and this is, like I said, I have a couple people that ask me, like, how do you know what you have? I go through it all the time. Anytime I'm creating, especially if it's not with a collection and I'm putting kind of like a little mini kit together, this is what I go through every single time. So I have letter stickers, layered stickers, chipboard, more chipboard, you name it, it is in here. And more stickers and more chipboard. I used to buy from Peachy Cheap all the time, so I have a lot of the stickers in here. Some Simple Stories alphabet stickers. And then this is kind of where I house that other half of the thickers that I was showing you from yesterday in the closet. This is where they go, the other half. And then my last drawer, guys, has more thickers, more chipboard letters. And then this is the new piece that I purchased a couple years ago that houses all my little mini ink pads. And I am so sorry, guys, there's no name for it. I really wish I had it for you. If I do end up finding it, I will add it in the description box. But I purchased 2 of them, so that way this became flush with a drawer. I don't know if I'll ever fill it, but I do like this a lot better than those little Tim Holtz tins. And guys, that is it. I am so excited to share my craft room tour with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, because that definitely helps me reach other viewers that may have the same interest. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing, because I would love to have you over here. All right, everybody, it's Sunday. Enjoy the time with your loved ones, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.